team onto the field tonight for Game 2 of the series.
The word on the street, Don, is that this ball field, Nationals Park, drains really well. I mean, it was coming down in buckets about 45 minutes to an hour ago, but it drains really well. It should be good conditions tonight.
Let's check out the Padres starting nine, brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Travis Jankowski leading it off, and in center field with Eric Hosmer batting second at first base. Jose Perella at second. Franchi Cordero's in left with Franmil Reyes in right. Corey Spangenberg at first base with Freddie Galvis in short. Rafi Lopez does the catching, bats eighth, and Eric Lauer, the pitcher, batting out of the number 9 spot. On the mound is Jeremy Hellickson.
Well, Jeremy likes to pitch at home. He has no record, 0-0, but a nice ERA of 1.64 here at Nationals Park. The 31-year-old making his 7th start. Fastball, changeup, curveball. I emphasize changeup and curveball because he throws a lot of changeups, and those changeups are for strikes. And he's got to work the corners too. He'll make hitters chase with 2 strikes. Behind Jeremy Hellickson, the defense is brought to you by your San Diego Cadillac dealers. Trey Turner at shortstop, 6 errors, tied 4th most by any Major League Baseball shortstop, but he is a good one. He's got the whole package. He can field, he can throw. Behind the plate, Pedro Severino at first base, Mark Reynolds, Wilmer Defoe at second base, Anthony Rendon at third. In the outfield, left to right, Soto, Taylor, and Harper.
Travis Jankowski has been leading off for the Padres and enjoying his stint as the leadoff hitter. He's been a totally different guy coming back this year from El Paso, and first and foremost, healthy. But a new approach to the plate and hitting at .354 since returning to the big leagues this year.
I remember Travis talking about, we documented on one of the telecasts about him adjusting his bottom half of his swing, not using the big leg kick. Remember, just a little toe tap, and it made sense. If you're quiet on the bottom half, it's going to do wonders at the top half, and the numbers prove that.
Always great speed-wise when he can get on base, changes things, and he's ready to go here. Delayed about 10 minutes tonight. Padres and Nationals, Game 2. Jeremy Hellickson staring in. First pitch of this one, and Jankowski will take it for ball 1. .354, as we mentioned, with a home run, 2 runs batted in. Fouled off to the left on play, 1-1.
Well, that on-base percentage for Travis that we just saw really jumps out at you. If you're around .330, I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty much the average where you want to be. He's at .432. 43% of the time getting on base.
Called up on April the 29th, spending basically a month in El Paso. In the dirt, and it's 2-2.
That's a pitch where if Hellickson gets the feel for that early, that can be nasty. That's the curveball.
Hellickson, generally a very slow worker, always has been. 1-0 record, 2.20 earned run average. And a grounder headed out towards second base. Defoe on the backhand, 1 down. So Jankowski retired. That'll bring up Eric Hosmer.
I mentioned that Hellickson throws strikes, but quality strikes. You know, keep an eye tonight in the strike zone, like pitches right down the middle. He avoids that area with the best of it. He pitches to all the quadrants on the, like if you're looking at a picture that's framed, he's throwing it around the frame of that picture.
Strike 1 to Hosmer. Hellickson spending his first 5 years in the big leagues with the Tampa Bay Rays. 2015 with the Diamondbacks. We won 9 games. Back-to-back seasons in Philadelphia, half a year in Baltimore. First year with the Nationals. .30-year-old from Des Moines, Iowa. Hosmer has hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games, hitting a .282 in the last 10 games. Hellickson falling behind, 3-1.
3-1. But that was a 2-1 curveball. So he's got confidence in that pitch. Big time pitching backwards. Fastball in.
And it's ball 4. Hosmer works a 1-out walk. First base runner to reach for the Padres tonight. So 1-out, 1 on, and brings up Jose Perella. Perella getting the start at second base again. That's where he has seen the majority of his time. 261, no homers, and 16 runs batted in. Riding a 4-game hitting streak, hitting at .267 for the last 4 games. And taking strike 1.
You know, he's a guy to where you can run on too. When Jeremy Hellickson uses that big leg kick, we just saw it on that last pitch. And he went back to the curveball, this time for a strike.
Check on Hosmer at first base. Both teams steal bases. The Nationals were at 36 on the year. Padres with 33. Braves on top with 37. Walk by Severino, came up like he was going to throw but did not, and back to the bag is Hosmer.
Hosmer with 3 stolen bases this year, and Skip Schumacher in the ear of the Padre first baseman. You know, it's only been not a lot of pitches from Hellickson, but he is bound and determined to get the feel for that curveball. He threw another one there, but it missed in the dirt.
Just missed, a little bit low. Padres been pretty patient with him so far. Dealing with his 3rd hitter, 13 pitches deep into the inning. Perella now, Cordero next. Swing and a miss on a pitch headed in. Fouled off himself.
That pitch nearly hit him in the jersey. That ball was so far inside off the plate. This two-seamer off the back calf. Wow.
That's hard to do.
That's very hard to do.
One out, one on, and Perella here with a count of 2-2. A painful strike. Just away. Eric Cooper has the plate tonight for the umpires, calling the balls and strikes. Gary Sieberstrom at first, Corey Blazer at second, and Stu Sherwater, the umpire at third for Game 2. This Padres National Series from Washington, D.C. Payoff pitch coming up. And it's up the middle and by the dive of Defoe into center field. Up to second base goes Hosmer. Perella's got himself a base hit. 2 on with 1 away in the Padres' first inning.
That's a good full count swing. It looks like Hellickson wants to go inside there, and he misses. That's down the heart of the plate, but knee high, and he just punches that ball past Defoe. Ball got through there quickly.
Seems Seems like that's where most of Perella's hits go, into center field.
If he stays on the ball and gets it to where he lets it travel just a little bit more rather than trying to pull everything out in front, he's very effective that way. That was a perfect 3-2 swing.
So 2 on, 1 away, and Franchy Cordero coming up. Franchy 252, 6 homers, 18 runs batted in. Out of the lineup the last 2 games, cautionarily for an arm injury, but returning to the lineup tonight. There's a pop-up foul off to the left out of play.
You know, we talk about pitchers making mistakes and hitters capitalizing on them. Franchy just missed a mistake, and I think he's kind of thinking about it. How did I let that one go by and foul it back? Let's take another look. Four-seamer. Middle in, and as a hitter, middle in. You're looking middle in to turn on it early. I think the first changeup we've seen tonight from Hellickson.
Cordero in the Pittsburgh series, 3 for 12. And did not play last night. Franchy hitting a .295 on the road. Waiting on a 1-1. Away and lunging Severino.
And Hellickson just doesn't look as sharp. I know it's not going to be the same every time out, but not as sharp as when he was in San Diego. As Don mentioned in our game open, he was perfect through 6, 18 in a row before Travis Jankowski singled.
20th pitch of this first inning coming up for Hellickson. And it's fouled off to the left out of play, 2-2. Second start for Hellickson against the Padres this month. Took a perfect game into the 7th before Jankowski led off with a single. Ended up giving up only 2 hits, no walks, 8 strikeouts, 6 2/3 of shutout pitching. 4-0 win for the Nationals at Petco Park.
It's time to do some damage right here for Cordero.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes out. First strikeout for Hellickson, 2 down.
Jeremy Hellickson is reaching into that bag of tricks and saying, I'm going to throw that curveball until I get the feel. Of all of his secondary pitches, that's what we've seen a lot of. Besides the fastball, we've seen a couple 2-3 changeups, but the curveball is the one that gets Cordero for the second out.
2 down, runners at first and second, and Franmil Reyes coming up. Got the first major league home run out of the way here last night. 2 RBIs, a 150 average so far for Franmil. Thanks to rain and off days, Hellickson is making his first start since May the 13th. His last start gave up 1 run in 5 innings. Got a no decision and a 6-4 win for the Nationals over the Diamondbacks. Oh, 2.
So that's a lot of time off for Hellickson. Maybe that's one of the reasons. We talked about that last night for Brian Mitchell, right? Having a lot of time off, and maybe some guys aren't as sharp. And Bob Scanlon brought up the point about being intense, having the intensity. It's just not the same. You can throw in that bullpen, you're blue in the face, right? Have hitters standing in there, righty, lefty, game simulation. It's not the same.
Oh, 2 to Reyes with 2 on. That'll miss for ball 1.
Really working underneath the changeup there for Hellickson. I mean, it was noticeable from the center field camera angle. Arm angle dropping, the arm slot dropping just a little bit. Hitters can pick that up. Doesn't have quite the feel for that changeup early on.
Jankowski grounded out to second. Hosmer walked. Morello with a single. Cordero struck out. So 2 on, 2 down. 2-2 pitch coming up here to Franmil Reyes. Fouled off over by the on deck circle and Corey Spangenberg.
We're still in the top of the first, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah. Just checking.
Jeremy Hellickson came up in the Tampa Bay Rays organization. And one time they had the slowest starting staff in all Major League Baseball.
Was James Shields on that staff?
I believe he was at the time. David Price, Archer, Cobb. They were all very slow.
And you know what? It's got to drive hitters nuts, don't you think? You get a little antsy, maybe a little froggy. You start swinging to pitches you're not necessarily to your liking.
The off pitch coming up here. Runners can get a start with 2 down in the inning. And that's strike 3. Reyes frozen. Breaking ball gets him. Back-to-back Ks for Hellickson. 2 stranded. Nationals coming up. Dave Martinez. Trey Turner going to lead it off for the Nationals and be at shortstop again tonight. Bryce Harper in right field, bat second. Anthony Rendon at third. Mark Reynolds at first base with Pedro Severino doing the catching. Juan Soto in left. Wilmer Defoe is at second base with Michael A. Taylor in center. And Jeremy Hellickson batting out of the 9 spot. On the hill is Eric Lauer.
22-year-old making his 6th start. He's got to rely on location. He's not going to light up the radar guns. He's got to hit the corners, expand the zone, but strike 1 like that there is very, very key. Manager Andy Green talked about that before the game.
Wild swing and a miss at a pitch up, 0-2. 271, 6 homers, 19 runs batted in.
If in fact Eric Lauer gets the 2 strikes tonight, let's keep an eye on the location of the fastball and the breaking ball. It's such a good pitch, that breaking ball down by the back foot of the right-handed hitters.
Line down the right field line, foul.
It's a very tough pitch for right-handers to lay off, especially with 2 strikes. Looks like it's going to catch that inside part of the plate. pitch. Yes, it did.
Fly ball, left field. Cordero settling underneath for out number 1.
Padres defense behind left-hander Eric Lauer. Hey, it's Corey Spangenberg playing third base tonight. To his left at shortstop, Freddie Galvis. At second base, Jose Perella. At first base, the Gold Glover Eric Hosmer. Behind the plate, putting down the signs tonight, Rafi Lopez. In the outfield, left-right, Cordero, Jankowski, and Reyes. 8th start for Corey at third base this year.
1 down for Bryce Harper. Last night got his 14th home run of the year. Leads the National League with 14 home runs after his home run here last night. Nationals as a team tied for the National League lead with 60 home runs on the year. Had 4 home runs in the game last night. Nationals tied with the Milwaukee Brewers in that category. That's Soto, one of the 4 here last night. That's a strike, and it's 2-2.
Oh, Eric's got a good feel for that fastball away on that outside corner. 2 quality strikes on that outside corner.
In the air to shallow left. Out goes Galvis. Cordero coming in. Look out! It's going to fall. Kicks off Cordero all the way into shallow center, and all the way to second base goes Bryce Harper. Galvis tried to catch it over the shoulder, and I think it kicked off Cordero all the way into shallow center field behind second base.
You know, as I look at this play develop right before our eyes, you know, Freddie Galvis, he's going way out, right? I mean, what a great effort, but that's Franchy's ball. That's Franchy's ball. He's got to call him off. He's got to be yelling like a kid on the playground so everybody can hear you. And then Freddie will be able to peel off and not get in the way. That's not Freddie's fault. He's trying the best he can to get to it. That's Franchy got to be yelling him off.
Error charge to Cordero in left field. So Harper at second, 1 down. Anthony Rendon, the batter. Nationals trying to cash in on a Padres mistake. Sixth start for Eric Lauer. Comes in at 1-2, 8.14 earned run average.
And Don, the one thing I always think about when there's a play like that, an error that should have been made, it's the extra pitches that a pitcher has to throw in an inning to get out of the inning.
So instead of 2 outs, bases empty, now you got a guy at second base with 1 down. And you're going through the heart of this Nationals order. Rendon only hitting at 248. 4 homers, 11 runs batted in.
You know, you look at those numbers, you know that Anthony Rendon is going to turn that around. I looked at how many runs he saves at third base with his defense. And it's the perfect example of a player who at this particular time probably not swinging the bat like he likes, but he doesn't worry about it when he goes out to third base. Doesn't let it affect his defense one bit.
In the air, down the right field line, and foul.
Also have to check out what type of lead that Bryce Harper is getting at second base. Corey Spangenberg way off the bag at third. Freddie Galvis playing deep shortstop. Jose Perella kind of sneaking in a little bit, but Point is, Bryce Harper's getting off to a very, very nice lead at second base.
Swing and a miss, that one by him, and Lauer needed that. Strikes out Rendon, 2 down. First K of the night for Eric Lauer.
And it comes at a perfect time. Runner in scoring position. 87 right down the middle. Looked like a changeup. Is that a fastball? 87?
Might have been.
Maybe took something off.
2 down. Harper at second base and Mark Reynolds.
Maybe a cut fastball? Probably a cutter. I need to get this prescription checked.
Foul outside of third. Reynolds with not 1 but 2 home runs in last night's game. For 18 in 6 games since joining the Nationals. 4 home runs in 6 games and 6 RBIs. A great addition and a great time for them with all the injuries the Nationals have. A whoop down the first base line, foul ground, no play. Hosmer going as far as he could. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealer.
Limit extra base hits for the Nationals. Last night 15 total hits, 9 extra base hits, and Lauer finished 5. Plain and simple. Got to get through that lineup maybe 2 or 3 times.
Mark Reynolds has been filling in for Ryan Zimmerman, who's on the DL with an oblique. On the ground to third base, Spangenberg's got it. Throw across is good, and the inning is over. The error not costly. Done with 1 without a score from DC. Take on Corey Spangenberg versus Jeremy Hellickson. Now 6 hits, 600 average, 3 doubles and an RBI, slugging percentage over 1,000.
My guess, my calculation would be it's 10 at bats.
I would say, yes.
Is that right?
So, yeah, I would say so.
Sharp as a bowling ball.
Corey Spangenberg leading it off, grounding one quickly to third. Rendon, who's in on the grass, picks himself up and throws him out. Nice play by Anthony Rendon. Just doing what you were talking about. He strikes out at the plate in the first and comes back and makes a great defensive play.
The Washington Nationals have quite the third baseman. Makes it look easy. In on the grass. Jeremy Hellickson likes it. You're right, Don. You don't worry about the hitting when you're playing defense, and vice versa for that kid right there.
1 down here in the 2nd inning for Freddie Galvis. Padres shortstop hitting at .234 with a home run and 13 runs batted in. Nationals have won all 3 of Hellickson's starts in the month of May. He's allowed just 1 run in now 18 1/3 innings pitched, while holding opponents to a 140 average. Back to the pitcher, and it's picked by Hellickson. What a play. I'm not sure that didn't catch him. Wow. That's where his glove was, and into it.
Yeah, and Freddie can only smile. That is a big league hockey suit right there, coming in hot right back at you. Looked like it was a curveball out of the hand of Hellickson. Curveball. Don, you are right. That ball found his glove. That was right to his glove side. He just had to open it for the catch. That's a hang with him.
He was out before he got out of the box.
Yep.
Bad feeling. Rafi Lopez with 2 down in the inning. After back-to-back starts by A.J. Ellis.
The key there is he barreled that up. There's nothing you can do about that. Just keep swinging.
Frustrating.
Yep.
Rafi Lopez at 179 on the year as Galvis still kind of shaking his head over there after some very solid contact.
Yep.
Lopez lines one just out of the reach of Defoe, and a shift through the right side for a base hit with 2 down here in the 2nd inning.
Rafi getting out in front of the changeup from Jeremy Hellickson. He wants it down and away, but it is up, outer third. Some serious top hand. Watch the top hand. There you go. Top spin. And beat the shift. Just out of the reach of Defoe.
2 down, Lopez at first, and here's Eric Lauer. Has 2 big league hits, 2 for 7. Grounds one towards second base. Wilmer Defoe will go to first for the out that ends the inning. Inning and a half done from Washington without a score.
Mechanical adjustments with my legs, and they weren't big at all, and they were kind of easy fixes. So I'm just looking forward to the next start. I think it's kind of how I used to pitch. I was, like I kept saying, like I'm trying too hard. I'm trying to do too much. I was trying to get down the mound too far, and I wasn't getting over my front leg. So just real small, a couple inches, maybe back a little bit, and it kind of fell back into sync.
That's Eric Lauer talking about a small mechanical adjustment that he made using his legs, which he hopes has some more consistency in today's game, guys. Now, what is the change? Basically, it's the front leg. He mentioned that he was trying to get down the mound too far, that he was having a tough time feeling like he was reaching out and getting over that front leg. It's because it had a little bit too much bend in it, so he has stiffened up the front leg just a little bit. So as he lands, instead of that front knee giving, he's keeping it just a little bit more stiff. That allows him to get over and get that feeling like he's reaching out again, guys. As he said, it's just a small thing, but those small things, as you know, Bud, can make a big difference. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks very much.
Yeah, you know what? I've always made the comparison of a pitcher's lower half to a catapult. You know what a catapult is, right? Solid base. So if you've got a wobbly base and you let go of that arm, it's not going to have enough force from the bottom. See how he's kind of bent out front, then he stiffens up? If you keep that stiff on the front side, that catapult is going to generate more energy up towards the top of the body. And if you shorten up your stride a little bit, it'll enable you to get up on top and out in front more rather than working uphill on a longer stride. I've always been a firm believer. Longer stride, chances are you're going to pitch uphill a little bit more unless you're a drop and drive guy. Shorter stride enables your arm to get up on top and work downhill. So I think that's one of the things that Darren Balsley is trying to incorporate with Eric Lauer.
Dealing with Severino to begin things here in the second inning. Nationals catcher, 253 hitter. No homers, 9 runs batted in into his 29th game of the year. Fouls it off and it hangs it 2-2.
You know, it's almost like a hitter. When you see hitters that are all right on pitches, they're stiff front leg, right? If they got a bent front leg, they're not going to get the power. But since they generate that power with that stiff front leg on the front side, and then they really get on it to extend, and that power from the bottom half, that's how a hitter gets explosive. And I believe that's the same way a pitcher gets explosive.
Striking out is Severino. He knew it. Takes with him the second K for Lauer. It's time now for Tools of the Trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
Opposite field power. First pitch saw last night over the heart of the plate, right at the belt buckle. And Soto, mature beyond his years, takes this ball the opposite way, and it's not a cheapie. That's over the bullpen. Franmil Reyes for the Padres. Outer half. And the big kid gets extended. That's some kind of strong, and that's some kind of far for Reyes.
Well, nice for Reyes to get that out of the way after leading the minor leagues with 14 home runs before his call-up. His first major league home run here last night. On Soto in the minors, 39 games, sitting at 362. Time of his call-up, also with 14 home runs. Longest opposite field home run this season. Eric Hosmer, 439. Was in Colorado at Coors Field. This should be in a waiver. 434. Juan Soto's last night. There's ball 4, and Soto down to first base. First walk given up by Lauer.
Well, Bob Scanlon, we talked about Eric Lauer and the adjustments. Did you want to elaborate on the bottom half and what you thought about Darren Balsley and how to work with Eric Lauer?
No, I think it's a great point, and obviously there's this thought in your mind as a pitcher that you want to reach out. You want to get as close as you can towards that mid, and that's the natural tendency. But as you mentioned, Mark, sometimes that causes some bad habits, and when you start bending that knee too much to try to reach out, it becomes counterproductive. By having that stiff front leg, it allows him to have a more consistent release point, and I think we've seen that so far tonight. He's done a really nice job of being located to both sides of the plate.
Scanlon, if I heard him right, he said he was getting too far down the mound with his landing foot. Is that what he was talking about?
That's what he was talking about. But what's interesting, Don, is he actually was not. So he felt like he was, but when he and Darren actually measured it out, they found out that, no, actually the foot was landing in the same spot when he stiffened that leg. It just felt so much like he was getting down there. And because the knee is bending, your whole body is going forward. See right here, he stiffens up just a little bit. He's able to throw over that front leg. When that front leg bends, you feel like you're getting further down the mound, but it's just an illusion. So so much of it is feel, and it's interesting when you actually measure things out. Sometimes what you feel isn't the reality, but the bottom line is that stiffer front leg it allows you to feel like you're reaching out, feel like you're getting over the front, but it makes your release point more consistent, and that's so far what we're seeing tonight, and hopefully it continues.
He's got one out here in the second inning. Soto at first and ahead of Defoe, 0-2. Now throw over, and they got him. Picked off is Soto. And Lauer's got a very good move, and he just showed it off right there. 2 down.
Well, before tonight's game, Padres 7 pickoffs, led National League, tied with the Toronto Blue Jays for most in the majors. What a great move right there. Quick step, got him on the shoulder. Boy, that wasn't even close.
So 2 down, base is empty. And Defoe still waiting on that 0-2 pitch.
You know, usually plays like that are bang bang. That wasn't even close.
Now the Nationals thought they may challenge out, but a quick look and they realized they had nothing to challenge. Grounded foul over by the Padres dugout. Fouled straight back, 1-2. Last Thursday, Lauer getting a no decision in the Padres' 5-4 loss in Pittsburgh. Gave up 4 runs in 4 2/3. High for ball 2. 22-year-old Eric Lauer, first round pick for the Padres in 2015. 25th overall. Line down the left field line, a foul ball. Not a lot of foul ground down there, but he finds it.
Yeah, last couple breaking balls have been one was so far out of the zone. Defoe didn't offer it, and that one just caught too much in the zone, but thank goodness he was way out in front of it.
Padres have lost 4 of 5 starts for Eric Lauer. Two coming up here to Defoe. He's got a pretty good battle. And he fouls off another.
See Defoe choking up about 3-4 inches on that shillelagh as well. Wants to be short and quick to the baseball.
Ninth pitch of the at bat coming up here for Wilmer Defoe. Popped up, foul ground. Hosmer heading over as far as he can. Hosmer will make the catch at the railing. Nice play to end things here in the second inning. We played 2 in Washington without a score. And a nice play by the Gold Glove first baseman Eric Hosmer and foul ground. Washington, D.C. Some Padres fans making their way to Nationals Park. As leading it off the top of the order, Travis Jankowski will take strike one. Grounded out to second base in the first inning, 0 for 1. On the ground, first base, Reynolds on the backhand will flip to Hellickson. Just in time to get Jankowski. Round number 1 of the third inning. Time now for the San Diego fans of the game. Saw quite a few Padres fans here last night, and some more tonight.
Enjoying the nation's capital. Wearing the retro shirt with the late 90s, middle 90s hat. Are they watching the app? Are they watching us? Oh, Captain Obvious is here. Love Captain Obvious. How do you spell FP? I know he's a big FP Santangelo fan. The color analyst for the Washington Nationals on TV. That's awesome.
He's so nonchalant about his
obviously.
obviousness. Yeah. 40th pitch coming up for Jeremy Hellickson. And Eric Hosmer will take a ball, 1-1. A quiet season at the plate for Hosmer against Washington. 1 for 15, 0.67 the average in 5 previous games against the Nationals. Walked in the first inning tonight. And it's a hard one hopper. They are shifting. That's Trey Turner who throws out Hosmer, 2 down. Shift worked out very well this time defensively for Washington.
Well, you know what? Freddie Galvis hit the ball hard right at Hellickson. Eric Hosmer squares one up. Got a pretty good shortstop there playing on the second baseman side of second base on that particular play.
And 2 down here in the third inning brings up Jose Perella. Single to center in the first, 1 of 2 Padres hits tonight. A game break coming up. We'll get you caught up on the Phillies and the Braves. Two teams who right now are battling for the top spot in the National League East. Somewhat surprising. Lined and caught by Trey Turner at shortstop to end the inning. That's some solid contact. Padres have nothing to show for it. 7-pitch inning. All right, thanks very much, Mike and Mark. As we play along here to the bottom of the third inning, Michael Taylor down 0-2, foul tip there.
Yeah, how about that? Two great stories in baseball, the Phillies and the Braves. Last year, the Phillies lost 96 games. The Braves lost 90.
Now they're battling for the top spot in the National League East here. Get towards the later stages of May.
And since May 2nd, the Phillies have won 11 of 16, and there you have it, the NL East.
Kapler came under a lot of fire to begin the year. They really played very well under Kapler. This one fouled off around the plate area.
You know, like any sport, you start believing in that clubhouse or locker room, some magical things can happen.
I've always felt like winning creates good chemistry too.
Sure.
It seems to go hand in hand.
Sure. You start believing in each other. You're not so selfish. If something happens to where you don't come through, you're hoping for the next guy, rooting for the next guy to come through.
Taylor strikes out, 3 Ks for Lauer. One down here in the third inning. And it's time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question.
Love it.
4 different rookies have had at least 1 home run for the Padres this season. What is the Padres record for most rookies with at least 1 home run in a season? Tweet us your answers by the end of the inning using hashtag Valley View Trivia. Any guesses?
I don't even know where to start, so I'm going to refrain.
Hellickson, the pitcher, pops one up short left. Galvis calling, now gives way, and this time Cordero makes the catch. 2 down. A wide smile there from Freddie Galvis. 2 down.
Yeah, take charge, Franchi. You bet. He's coming in on that. I'm sure there's tons of communication between infielders and outfielders. Meetings. Hey, if it's questionable, it's always the outfielder to take charge. Now Galvis is saying, I got it right, but no, Franchi's taking charge. Squeezes it for the out.
2 down, top of the order again. Second time through against Eric Lauer. Trey Turner flied out to left in the first inning. Tardy on that, and it's 0-2. Jankowski over towards right center. Good gap out in left center for Trey Turner. .13 stolen bases for Trey Turner if he can get on. Second in the National League. And he will get on. Base hit into center field. First hit of the night for the Washington Nationals.
Well, we know that Trey Turner can put the ball out of the ballpark, right? The count is in his favor. He does a nice job. We've seen this before. Saw it in San Diego. 2 strikes. Hits it hard where it's pitched. That ball was barreled up. Is a threat when he gets on first base.
13, second only to Ender Enciarte. As Harper gets a chance. Reached on the 2-base error committed by Franchi Cordero.
Yeah, that first at bat, he started fastball away. Now he's mixing it up. Eric Lauer trying to pound the fastball in for a strike, but missed.
Throw to first, and that was close, but Turner's back. Lauer's already picked off 1 national tonight. Got Juan Soto in the second.
Watch how quick Lauer is. The leg kick and then the snap throw. Whereas Clayton Richard, he hangs more and kind of strides more towards the 45-degree angle. Lauer is more of a snap throw and a quick step towards the bag than Clayton Richard.
Fastball at 92 by Harper, 1-1. The Padres 8 pickoffs on the year.
Now Joey Lucchesi and Lauer have combined for 6 pickoffs this year.
Through the shift on the right side into right field, a base hit. Turner takes second. And the Nationals have something going with 2 down. Runners at first and second.
Well, if you're going to allow Bryce Harper to be aboard, you know, give him the single. Station to station baseball from the Nationals with 2 outs. But still, don't shut your toolbox, because here comes a kid by the name of Anthony Rendon who struck out, but he's one tough out to make a mistake. Can hurt you.
2 on, 2 down, and Rendon struck out swinging in his first plate appearance back in the first inning.
Thank you. You got a call on that one, huh?
Yeah, he did. First year for Dave Martinez, longtime bench coach for Joe Madden. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Dave Martinez was the bench coach in Tampa Bay when Jeremy Hellickson was on their starting rotation. Interviewed many times before getting this Nationals job. This year, of course, parting ways with Dusty Baker. Swing and a miss, and Rendon strikes out. 4th strikeout for Lauer. Ends the 3rd as the Nats strand a pair. Scoreless to the 4th we go. Valley View Casino trivia question. 4 different rookies have at least 1 home run for the Padres this season. What is the Padres record for most rookies with at least 1 home run in a season? 6, 2008 and 2017. Well within their range.
Yeah.
Only in May.
A lot of debuts.
Franchi Cordero leading it off here in the 4th inning. Grounding and foul. Cordero Cordero, then Reyes and Spangenberg. Scoreless game. Top of the fourth. Well pitched. Down and in, 2-1. Cordero a strikeout victim in the first inning, 0 for 1. One of 2 strikeouts tonight for Jeremy Hellickson. In the air to right field. Back goes Harper looking up, and that ball is going to be gone. A home run. Franchy Cordero hits his 7th home run of the year, and the Padres jump out to a 1-0 lead. A blast to right field for Franchy Cordero.
That ball, oh my goodness. Let's go back to the pitch. Four-seamer up, and this ball goes into the second deck. For all the people above the auxiliary scoreboard wanting a souvenir, no, it's 3 rows up on the second deck.
Fly ball center field. Taylor got a bad read. Now he dives and can't catch it. So Reyes is aboard. Taylor started back. I'll tell you what, right now it is twilight here, and it is very hard to see the ball. And Taylor just botched that one in center field.
Well, that's what you're looking at if you're playing center field, and you're right. They rub up those baseballs to take the shine off of it. Kind of dark. And now he's got to hustle to try to make the catch. And he just gets a glove on it to keep it in front of him to hold Franmil to first base for a single.
So Reyes aboard after the home run by Cordero, and here is Spangenberg. They ruled a hit for Franmil Reyes. On the ground to short, could be 2. Turner touches second, fires to first. It is 2. 6-3 on the Twin killing, 2 down.
I'm still amazed at that ball off the bat of Cordero. We saw the one in Arizona that went off the facing of the scoreboard in center field. And now we just saw one to the upper deck, 3 rows deep in right center field. Launch angle.
.449 the projected distance. Strike over the outside corner. Galvis lined back to the mound first time up. Great play by Hellickson. We've seen some very long home runs by Franchy Cordero.
Franchy's looking out there. I think guys on the bench are saying, hey, do you know where you hit that ball?
Now Galvis lines this one out to right, but there is Harper to make the catch to end the inning. A home run by Franchy Cordero has given the Padres a 1-0 advantage for Franchy, his 7th of the year. 1-0 San Diego. this moment. Willie McCovey hits 2 home runs to lead the National League All-Stars to a 9-3 win over the American League at RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C. And of course, the All-Star game will be right here as they get ready for it in the Midsummer Classic coming up.
I love that old footage.
Oh, it's great stuff, isn't it?
Willie McCovey, Ron Santo we saw in that clip. Old RFK Stadium.
Last time I was here is '69. The game was played in Washington, D.C. Mark Reynolds grounded out to third base in the first inning. 0 for 1 as leads it off here in the fourth. Line to left center field. That's going to get down. Cordero over to cut it off, and Mark Reynolds with his first hit. Third hit of the night for Washington.
Mark Reynolds swinging the club, getting some serious top hand on that pitch from Eric Lauer. Now the good thing here, it's a four-seam fastball. I mean, it's up so much that Mark Reynolds realized, okay, I got to get on top of it. But yet, if he gets under it just enough, that ball's got a chance maybe to get out of the ballpark. He's so strong. And they hold him to a single.
Pedro Severino struck out looking first time up. Now sends one down the left field line. Back goes Cordero towards the corner at the wall. He'll make the catch right to the right of the 336 marker, and he fires it back in. Severino gives it a long ride, but he's out number 1 in the 4th inning.
You know, Don, it's 336 down that left field line, and then it jets out a little bit. So Severino, let's go back to the swing, gets out in front of it, kind of feeling and drifting towards, and just right before the padded wall, Franchi pulls it in. Got the track under his feet, secures the out.
1 out, 1 on, and Juan Soto. Soto walked in the second inning, the only free pass allowed by Eric Lauer, and he's outed. Two and 0. The count here to Soto. 1 on, 1 out. Last of the 4th. Lauer working with a 1-run advantage. That is ball 3. And there's ball 4. Down to first base goes Soto. Well, the Nationals have a Dominican Academy, and last night they were watching Juan Soto's first home run. They were going crazy.
That's great.
The Boca Chica of the Dominican.
I mean, what's that tell you when you see his former teammates and guys that he was in the academy with going crazy like that? That means they love the kid. They're happy for him. That's great. Rooting for your teammates.
Now tonight he has walked twice. 2 on, 1 away, and Wilmer Defoe coming up. Nationals have left 3 men on in the first 3 innings. Have 2 on with 1 away here in the 4th inning. Late swing fouled off. 0-2. Padres took a 1-0 advantage on a Franchi Cordero home run in the 4th inning. Time called late. Wilmer Defoe fouled out to Eric Hosmer in the second inning at first base. Hosmer was right over by the railing when he made the grab. Up and away for ball one.
Defoe tough to double up. 2 double plays he's grounded into this year. 1 from each side of the plate.
Reynolds at second, Soto at first. Swing and a miss, and Defoe strikes out. 5th strikeout for Eric Lauer. 2 down here in the 4th inning.
Looked like a high cut fastball. There it is. There's the rotation. And swinging right under it is Defoe. Lauer working up in the zone. Defoe going to sit down in the dugout.
2 down, 2 on, and Michael Taylor coming up. Struck out swinging in the 3rd, 0 for 1. Popped up foul on play off to the right. 1-1. Taylor was strikeout victim number 3 for Lauer. Now has 5 in his outing. 1 in this inning. He's up to 70 pitches.
Ooh, right off the grill.
That one, Raffy taking inventory on the mask. Appears to be okay.
Shook that one off. Watch his mask. He's got those shock absorbers. Checking out the grill.
All appears to be in order. Two outs, 2 on. And a 1-2 pitch coming up to Michael Taylor. Time called. Rafi Lopez asked for time. And he's trying to clear his eyes right now. Hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Two and 2. Two on, 2 down, 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss, elevated and struck him out. Back-to-back Ks for Eric Lauer. 6 in all now for Lauer as he gets Michael Taylor to end the 4th. 1-0 Padres. Padres baseball brought to you by the Memphis Barbecue Thick Burger. Only at Carl's Jr. and only for a limited time. Pick it up. By Petco, the pet company. And by Nissan. It's time to upgrade. Save big at the Nissan Tech for All sales event. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Some great shots of Washington, D.C. There's the Lincoln Memorial. Not far from Nationals Park. We play game 2 of a 3-game series. A well-pitched ball game so far by Eric Lauer through the first 4 innings.
You know, I have to be honest with you. I look at the Capitol building, 2 things come to mind. One is what a beautiful building. It's just absolutely exquisite, right? And then secondly, Schoolhouse Rock. I'm just a Bill. Yes, I'm only a Bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Remember Schoolhouse Rock?
Sure.
It taught you all through music and lyrics how you'd remember that. And I remember how a bill became law because of Schoolhouse Rock and the Capitol building.
The rotunda.
Love it. It's beautiful.
We used to have a clear shot of it from our booth. Now there are about 25 condos between us.
A lot of cranes too.
A lot of cranes. This area is being built up and then some. I mean, wow, look at that. Look at all the building going on outside.
You look at it.
So yeah, it's a growing area.
Yes, it is.
Down here by Nationals Park. Rafi Lopez leading it off here in the top of the 5th inning. Elevating, and Lopez chases.
Right next to the Navy Yard here at Nationals Park. And it's always nice coming from the hotel on the bus to, you know, we go by the Jefferson Memorial, right? Across the Potomac, which is really,
the Washington
cool.
Monument.
Hey, Captain Obvious is dishing out some dough. You need some?
Lopez grounds one into the shift right side. Wilmer Defoe throws out Rafi Lopez for the first out here in the 5th inning. The Houston Astros, some elite arms. You think about where they were at this time last year. Really, only Dallas Keuchel was their really good starter. Now they've got all kinds of very good pitching, and they are dominating so far this year. Verlander, Cole, who we saw, Charlie Morton, and Lance McCullers. It's been impressive.
And the run differential, plus 98 for the Houston Astros. I mentioned it yesterday. We talked about the rotation for the Nationals. I like the Nationals rotation in the National League. But I'll tell you what, overall, I think the American League Houston Astros is the rotation right now. I mean, let's face it, Don. If you're an offense, let's say that, you know, the Houston Astros, well, we saw them early in the season, right? Even if they don't score a lot of runs and their pitching is on, they're going to still keep them in ball games.
Their offense tremendous.
Gio Gonzalez, Steven Strasburg. Did you see my brother there, Paulie Lassard, the trainer?
I saw that. He could be your brother.
Yeah. So we got a chance to see some darn good pitching in Houston, and of course in San Diego with the Washington Nationals and Gio Gonzalez again last night. So hey, once again, if you've got a solid rotation, you really don't have to put up a lot of runs to stay in contention.
You see in the playoffs how important starting pitching really is.
Absolutely.
How deeply they go in, and bullpens.
Yeah.
Bullpens have been huge. Eric Lauer swings and misses here and strikes out. Hellickson makes quick work of him. 3rd K for Hellickson. 2 down here in the 5th.
Oh, there's my brother.
There he is.
Paulie Lassard.
Jimmy Grant.
Yeah. He's a really good trainer right there.
He's a great trainer. And a Northeastern University grad.
Really?
Too, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people say that we were separated at birth.
I think he's better looking.
I would have to agree with you.
Spent 2 seasons with
Did you?
Paulie. Yep.
Paulie's a good egg.
Tremendous. Pitch in there for a strike to Travis Jankowski. 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded out to second, grounded out to first. He's been the Reds head trainer, the Red Sox head trainer, Nationals head trainer, and was he in Arizona too?
He was?
Yeah. Yep, he's definitely better looking. Down low, and it's 1-2.
You know, I have tremendous respect for the men and women in the training field, because we Paul Navarro, Mark Rogo, Will Sinan, all the guys down there in the clubhouse. The education nowadays that these guys have to go through to get to that point.
Yep.
It is not an easy road.
Pretty much a doctor for all intents and purposes. Swing and a miss, and Jankowski strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Hellickson, a 1-2-3 inning, 1-0 Padres.
Runners on first and second. He gets Rendon for the punch out in the third. Then in the fourth inning, again, 2 runners on base. He gets Defoe on the cutter away. Is he done yet? Nope. Taylor, same thing. Cutter away, got him. Now, I don't know if Eric's 100% happy with that pitch, but he got out of it. Guys, he's done a nice job of limiting damage. He's had runners on base. He's composed himself. He's made his pitches with runners on. Big confidence builder for this young man to work out of these jams, and he takes a 1-0 lead into the 5th. Back up to you.
Yeah, no question, Scan. 4 shutout innings to begin his game, and 6 strikeouts along the way. He's walked 2.
Yeah, he likes to pitch up with the fastball and the cutter. He's getting some nationals to swing and miss at that pitch.
Dealing with the pitcher in Hellickson, who lifts a fly ball to center. Jankowski waiting. 1 down here in the 5th. Trey Turner coming up, 3rd time through now for Lauer. See what kind of adjustments the Nationals will make here. Turner's got one of the Nationals' 3 hits in the game. After he flied out to left in the first, single to center. In the 3rd, and a swing and a backswing that may have made contact there with Lopez.
That last pitch of the ball, that's exactly where he wanted it. Sometimes there is an advantage to throwing the ball up and out of the zone to set up the next pitch.
Sprays it foul, 1-2.
Beautiful.
It's a game break coming up. Matching up again. The World Series matchup from a couple years ago. The Cubs and Indians.
From the
Wrigley
friendly,
this time.
Yeah, from the friendly confines.
To right field, Reyes started in, now goes back and is there for out number 2. Bryce Harper coming up. It's time for the key of drive to success. Bryce Harper, major league leaders in most walks. Kind of work around him a lot. 43 to be exact. And Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, Justin Bohr. Harper swinging to the first pitch, drives one to center field. Back goes Jankowski, looking up, and it is gone into the batter's eye. One swing of the bat, the Nationals have tied the score 1-1 on home run number 15 of the year for Bryce Harper. Jumping on that first pitch he sees in his third plate appearance against Eric Lauer.
Well, if I'm Bryce Harper, I'm thinking to myself, okay, the strikeouts tonight, first of all, Lauer's getting ahead. If I get something down the middle and fat, I'm going to be all over it. That was a cut fastball, middle in, and he knew it. I'm going to try to avoid that breaking ball out of the zone with 2 strikes. I'm going to try to avoid that high cutter to make me chase.
So tied at 1, Anthony Rendon.
Okay, now for Eric Lauer, it's bounce back time. Got to forget about that. You got to make a good pitch, quick out here against Rendon.
He's had success against Rendon tonight. Struck him out in the first, struck him out in the third, both times swinging. Now a pop-up right side that has Hosmer drifting to the outfield grass. And that'll end the inning, but a home run by Bryce Harper has tied the score 1-1 at the end of 5 from Washington. Into the batter's eye with this shot straightaway center, tied at 1. All right, Mike and Mark, thanks very much. We play along here to the 6th inning. Game tie now 1-1. And Eric Hosmer leads it off and takes strike 1. Jeremy Hellickson threw 28 first inning pitches. He's thrown 65, and you look at the numbers against him. Wow. A lot of times coming out before that third time through, but one third time through tonight in a 1-1 ball game. Hosmer takes strike 2.
Don, remember the Nats were in San Diego. We were talking to some of the announcers for the Nationals, and they said just that. They said if he gets the third time around, walk, hit, look for somebody to be up in the bullpen. And you know what? As we look, there is action in the Nationals bullpen as we speak.
0-2 pitch. Down and in. Wander Suero up in the pen. Swing and a miss for Hosmer, and he strikes out for the first down of the 6th inning. 5 strikeouts for Jeremy Hellickson.
That was a good yacker right there by Hellickson. He's got the 12-6 curveball. See the rotation there? And more maybe like 1-7, let's call it. Still very effective for the swing and miss.
1 down in the 6th.
Maybe 2-8.
Maybe 2 to 7:30.
Whoa, that'd be. I got you.
Jose Perella 1 for 2. Singled in the first, lined out short in the 3rd. He's got one of the 4 Padres hits. Both teams with a run, both teams with 4 hits. Off balance cut right there, 1-1.
Hey, coming out of your shoes. So what does Hellickson do? He's falling behind. He throws the changeup to counter. I'd like to see Jose maybe shorten up a little bit earlier in the count, right? If you get a mistake and you're, 2-0, 3-1, maybe a heavy swing.
He's not homered yet this year. On the ground, foul outside of 3rd. Has a 5-game hitting streak with a base hit earlier in the game. One for 3 last night so far, 1 for 2 tonight. 2-2 pitch. Ball 3. One game. Line to left field. That ball will get down and head back to the track of the wall. Perella thinking 2. Soto's throw will go to 3rd, and it is a 1-out double for Jose Perella here in the 6th inning.
That ball was pelted. Looked like an off-speed pitch. Is it the curveball from Hellickson? Yes, it is. And he spins on that one right on the line. Line drive. If he elevates that one, that's his first home run of the year. But he'll take the double.
It's a hanger right there.
Oh. Even on a double, you hanging, oh, he will bang it. And he bangs out a double.
2nd hit of the night for Perella at second base, scoring position with 1 down. Here's Franchy Cordero. Pickoff played second, no throw. Cheating in was Trey Turner for his spot at shortstop. Away, and Severino lunging to his left. Keep that from the backstop. We've seen some majestic home runs this year. 489 feet in Arizona, his biggest. Tonight in Washington at 449. Well, something may be wrong here with Jeremy Hellickson. They brought out Paul Lassard. And he's looking like a blister type situation. That's going to do it.
Wow.
So Hellickson works here into the 6th inning with 1 out, but looks like the blister is going to chase him from this game. Pitching change. Game tied 1-1 from Washington, D.C. Having to leave the game. What appears to be a blister. They'll head to the clubhouse. Frenchy Cordero up right now for the Padres against Wander Suaro, who's now into the game.
Electric right-hander. This guy's got a serious arm. His 7th game. Nice ERA at 2.84. Limited action, only 6 1/3. And the walks, when he can walk some hitters. So the Padres got to be patient right here. Get multiple base runners and break that 1-1 tie.
Count is 1-0 that he inherits. Ball and a strike.
Good breaking ball right there.
Wander Suaro, first out of the pen. He had been warming up as the inning began for Hellickson. Signed with Washington as a non-drafted free agent, 2010. Down and in again. Falls behind 3-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 91.
A little cut on that fastball at 91. Also good movement. So the power slider and little cut fastball. See the rotation there, just a little bit of cut action and that movement down by the label. A little bit. That's all it takes. Just a little bit.
Swing and a miss, and Cordero strikes out. Almost got away from Severino. Had serious movement. First strikeout for Suaro. It's unbelievable.
He wanted to go down and away, and look at how Severino's got to make the adjustment. That is one heck of a play by the Nationals catcher. That is not easy, folks.
That keeps Burrell at second base with 2 down. Franmil Reyes struck out in the first, single to center in the 4th inning. Bullpen ERA has not been good for the Nats, 4.65. The Marlins higher, 5.76 in the National League. Now they got Ryan Madsen on the DL. That won't help. Sean Doolittle out there, the closer. Two and one. Fran Meal has struck out looking and singled to center. Trying to bring in the go-ahead run here for the Padres in the 6th inning.
Well, with the movement out of the hand of Suero, he's got to think right field, right center field.
Lines it into center field. Coming around from second base is Perella. And the throw, Perella is safe. We'll see if they're going to challenge. I'm not sure he ever touched the plate. We'll see. Padres have a 2-1 lead. See if the Nationals are going to challenge.
Does his back foot hit the plate? Because his front one didn't.
He'll be out there. Right there.
Yep, he's out.
Nationals will challenge.
That is a great play by Severino. I'll tell you what, Don, that ball off the bat, that ball was pulverized. That ball was hit so hard. That was a one-hopper to center field. Michael A. Taylor comes up throwing. Severino on the fly. Oh, that's close.
Just look right here.
Yeah. You can see the glove movement. You're absolutely right. Good call.
Call on the field is safe. We'll see. Seeing it on the big board. Severino likes what he sees. Umpire's taking a while here, though. To come to a decision. He is now out. That will end the inning. Game remains tied 1-1.
Served. We stand ready to serve all military families.
Back at Nationals Park, and Severino able to apply that tag on Perella before he reached home plate, and this game remains tied 1-1 into the bottom of the 6th inning. Eric Lauer has thrown now 85 pitches. Deals with Reynolds, Severino, and Soto 4, 5, and 6 for the Nationals.
You know, that was a beautiful play all the way around.
Yes, it was.
Michael A. Taylor did a nice job. And granted, that ball off the bat was 115 miles an hour exit velocity. It was a one hopper to Michael A. Taylor in center field.
Grounder left side, diving is Spangenberg, and the transfer drops the ball. Reynolds will reach to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. Nice diving play to get to it, but on the transfer, could not handle it cleanly. It's a hit.
You know what? I'm going to get on my soapbox. If you disagree with me, I understand. I think that's got to be an error. He caught it cleanly. He was coming up to his feet, and it was on the transfer. And I know that might be a little hard on Corey. But do you see my point on that?
No.
You don't. He catches it in his webbing cleanly, and he gets up to his feet.
He had to make a pretty great play to get there. It was beyond an ordinary effort. And that's the.
And I totally understand that. And I totally understand that.
A lot of guys don't even get to that ball, in my opinion.
I totally understand. But my point is, caught cleanly in the glove. He was on his way up, and it was on the transfer, though. So therefore, the error was on the transfer. I understand the hit. I understand all that.
And Reynolds at first to begin things here in the 6th. Severino lines it foul. Wow, he was out ahead of that, and so.
Strike one.
Severino 0 for 2. He struck out and flied out to the warning track.
Ooh.
A pretty good pitch. Called the ball.
That was a really good pitch. Right at the knees.
Pitch 90 for Lauer. Throw to first, and back easily is Reynolds. There is action in the Padres pen for the first time tonight as Lauer starts this 6th inning. It's Craig Stammen. Bullpen is in very good shape. Eddie Green talking about that before the ball game today.
Yeah, the high leverage arms in that bullpen, good to go.
Two pitch. On the ground to third, and this could be 2. The second for 1 on to first. It is 2. Double play. Spangenberg loves that. Able to atone for the transfer trouble that he had down there at third base and erase that leadoff runner. 5-4-3 around the horn. Double play.
Usually when an infielder gets a ball like this, he cannot wait to throw that strike to second base. After that nice play diving to his left, couldn't come up with it. Hey, hit it to me again. I'll turn it for you.
Two down here in the 6th, then it brings up Juan Soto. He's walked twice in this game. A young hitter, 19 years old, a guy that you wouldn't expect to have much patience, but he does.
And he looks confident, doesn't he?
Sure does.
He has that it factor.
On the ground through the right side into right field, a base hit. Third time he's been on tonight.
Well, we know that this game is all about adjustments, right? We'll see how Soto reacts as time goes on at the big league level. And you know what's going to happen this offseason with Bryce Harper? He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Remember, I know it sounds crazy, but remember Bryce Harper was a rookie 1 year as well. He put up good numbers.
Wilmer Defoe now, the runner at first. Defoe has fouled out to first and struck out swinging. 1-1.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing Soto to Harper by any means, not at all. My point is that when a young player like this comes up and he proves that he can play at this level, sure, he's going to go through peaks and valleys, no question about it, just like Harper did. But still, if Harper goes elsewhere, I think the Nationals could be fine with a guy like that if he does a nice job in the outfield offensively, carries his weight. You never know what, we didn't know. We didn't have a crystal ball what Bryce Harper was going to be like after, the 2015 season or even before that when he won the MVP.
He's in line for a pretty good payday, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Popped up foul off to the right out of play.
Would it be something if the Phillies went after Bryce Harper?
Yeah. A lot of people wonder whether or not he'll end up in pinstripes and in New York. Talking about teams who spend a lot of money. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off down the right field line, out of play.
So you think LA, Chicago, New York,
larger markets. You say that, and then you take a look at Eric Hosmer, $140 million. 2-2 pitch coming up. And a swing and a miss. Defoe strikes out. Lauer gets out of the inning unscathed. We head to the seventh, tied 1-1. Making his sixth major league start, and 4 shutout innings to start with 6 strikeouts through the first 4. As Franchi Cordero, another tape measure shot, puts the Padres on top 1-0 in the 4th inning. Home run number 7 for Cordero. Bryce Harper has an answer. Solo shot to the batter's eye, ties the game. Looked like the Padres were going to take a 2-1 lead, but thrown out the plate is Perella. Initially called safe, with the review and challenge by the Nationals. Call overturned. Game remains tied 1-1 into the 7th inning. So Perella thrown out at the plate as it turns out. Corey Spangenberg leading it off. And ahead 2-0. Suoro back out on the mound. Corey tonight has grounded out to third and grounded to short and into a double play. Now into the shift is Trey Turner, the shortstop. Throws out Spangenberg.
Another ball barreled up right into the shift.
One down in the 7th inning. Suaro back out there again. He got the final 2 outs of the 6th inning. Gets the first out of the 7th. Took over for Jeremy Hellickson. Tonight went 5 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run, a walk, and 5 Ks. No decision for him in a 1-1 game. Appeared to leave with a blister problem. Freddie Galvis 0 for 2. He has lined out to first and lined out to right. Good contact, but nothing to show for it. Now hits a fly ball to right field, high, but plenty of room for Bryce Harper. 2 down.
Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At-Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
2 down here in the 7th. Rafi Lopez 1 for 2. One part, a single to right, grounded out to second base in the 5th. Strike caller at the bottom of the zone. Eric Lauer, 99 pitches through the first 6 innings. Might be done. This spot in the order coming up. And it looks like Caesar is on deck. Foul back to the screen for Rafi Lopez. Talking it over with Clayton Richard. Look at his night tonight. Just the 1 run, the home run by Bryce Harper. There is Matt Caesar, who would hit for him if we get that far. There are 2 outs.
You know, the thing I liked regarding Eric Lauer in that 5th inning after the solo shot from Bryce Harper, he just buckled down and he got Rendon. Didn't let it affect him, kept it at 1. A couple of base runners in the 4th inning, stranded in scoring position, the same in the 3rd. Pitched well when he was faced with some adversity.
Got to be happy with the way that he threw the ball tonight. Yeah. 7 strikeouts for him in his 6 innings. And just shy of 100 pitches, 99 thrown tonight. Against a good lineup. 2-2. That is strike 3, and it will end the top of the 7th inning. 7th inning stretch from Washington, D.C. Tied at 1. Delay here tonight. Got us started about 10 minutes late. And a 1-1 ball game into the bottom of the 7th inning. Time for the top tier plays brought to you by Arco, and the night for Eric Lauer, who's very good.
Yeah, in the first inning there was an error in left field, but he didn't let it affect him. After the error, 2 outs. A couple of walks tonight that really didn't hurt him as well. He utilized both sides of the plate, and the one thing that I like, the cutter up in the zone, the Nationals were swinging at, they couldn't lay off of that, and then when you change the eye angle on the breaking ball down and in, swing over the top of it. And after the home run off the bat of Bryce Harper, a quick out to get Rendon. I would say that's a pretty good night in the big leagues for left-hander Eric Lauer in those 6 frames.
Hands it off to Craig Stammen.
We talked about high leverage guys in every major league bullpen, and with the score tied late, Craig Stammen is the guy. His numbers have been outstanding since All-Star break last year. This season, his 21st appearance, only 5 walks and more than a strikeout in innings pitched for the veteran right-hander.
Deal with Michael A. Taylor to lead it off. Six innings, 6 hits, a run, 2 walks, and 7 Ks for Lauer. Not part of the decision tonight as Michael Taylor leads it off here in the home half of the 7th inning. Taylor had no success against Lauer. Struck out twice, both times swinging. Taylor takes strike 1. Boris Spangenberg at the lip of the grass at third in case Taylor entertains any thoughts of bunting. And he does. Drops it down towards Spangenberg. Bare hands it, throws in time to get Taylor. Nice play down there as he was in on the grass anticipating that, and it happened. Still got to execute the play, and Corey Spangenberg did.
Nice call, Karnak, and a great play. You can see it slowly rolling on the fingertips up into the palm, making the grip, making the accurate throw. Sidearm style. Got him by a full step there. And Michael A. Taylor's like, wow, what just happened? Did he really make that play? You bet he did.
Well, Matt Adams coming up here to pinch hit with 1 out, and Adams, a guy who's really struggled. We saw he was red hot in San Diego. Now not so much. He is 4 for his last 31, hitting at 129 in his last 10 games. That comes right after he had hit 7 home runs in 7 games. We saw the 7 home runs in the 7 games, part of Matt Adams' season. With a couple of home runs in that series against the Padres at Petco. Now he's down 0-2.
This is where Craig Stammen does not have to throw him a strike. You know, when a hitter is struggling like that, you want to try to avoid the strikeout. You'll swing at anything close.
Adams gets peace, fouls it back. That'll be 4 May the 9th. Hitting at 308 since 107. 10 home runs to 0. But the RBI is 24-3. They were looking to find room for him any way they could. They started 1 game in San Diego in left field.
Yes.
That is strike 3. Adams goes looking. 2 down in the 7th inning.
There is that patented 2-seam fastball on the inside part of the plate to left-handed hitters that Craig will bring back on the inside corner. Beautiful. That's a lane changer. The hitter gives up on it. It moves, hits the inside corner. See ya.
2 down here in the 7th inning for Trey Turner. Top of the order now for the Nationals here in the 7th inning. Turner with a single back in the 3rd. A 1-for-3 night. He is flying out twice. In the air to center field. Jankowski going back to make the catch as he runs onto the track. A 1-2-3-7 for Stam. Into the 8th we go, tied at 1. One tie. Brandon Kinsler comes into the game, his 24th appearance of the year.
Well, the high splits, I mean, especially lefties, almost hit 300, 250 for righties, his 24th game. Maybe a little high in the walks as well, but the strikeout is there, 20 punchies in 22 frames. Going to get hitting around a little lately, so a chance for the Padres to be patient, get some balls dry, using the whole field here against Kinsler.
Christian Villanueva is going to pinch hit in the pitcher's spot. Last inning it had been Matt Caesar who was out there to pinch hit, but now it is Villanueva, as Lopez struck out to end last inning. 12 home runs on the year for Villanueva. And he takes strike 1. Kinsler takes over for Suaro, who went an inning and 2/3. Giving up a hit, no runs, no walks, struck out a batter. Hellickson started, went 5 1/3, giving up the run the Padres have, the home run by Cordero.
Well, the last 6 innings pitched over the 7 games, 11 hits, 4 earned runs for Kinsler. And there's the last 3.
Popped up into foul ground goes Reynolds on the run to make the basket catch. Nice play by Mark Reynolds for the first out of the 8th inning.
This ball wasn't up in the air a long time. He's got a beat on it, and the 2 handed Willie Mays Hayes grab. And as a hitter, you're hoping that ball gets out of place so you get another hack at it. Not the case.
One down. Brings up top of the order Travis Jankowski. He's grounded to second, grounded to first, and struck out swinging. Take strike one. Take strike two. Travis didn't like strike one, like strike two even less. To center field and in for a base hit for Travis Jankowski. One out single. Go ahead run aboard here for the Padres in the 8th.
That's a good hit. 0-2. Travis gets on top of this one. It's a four-seam fastball up. Remember the leg kick? Nope, just a little toe tap. Short, quick to that baseball. That's a knock.
One out, one on. And it brings up Eric Hosmer. Nationals double play depth with one out in the 8th inning. Quick check on Jankowski, and he's back to the bag. Fully capable of getting into scoring position with a stolen base.
I say send him. If he gets a jump.
There he goes. Hosmer will take a pitch for a strike, throw down, and Jankowski is out. Caught trying to steal. Nice throw by Pedro Severino.
They got a fastball. And right there, Trey Turner just caught that ball. It's just right in front of the bag, puts it down and gets the fingers of Travis Jankowski. Isn't it amazing how quickly all that happens?
It's got to be quick for the catcher. Two down. Hosmer will jump back out of the way of a pitch and misses in.
The first time that Travis Jankowski's been gunned down at second base trying to steal.
Two down, a count of 1-2 to Eric Hosmer. On the ground down the first base line. Kinsler will cover, but it's going to be Reynolds who wins the foot race to the bag that ends the inning. Tied at 1. by SeaWorld. Atlantis is tonight's word of the game. Head to foxsportssandiego.com and click Ways to Win for your chance to win a SeaWorld Family 4-pack. By Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family, only at Jack in the Box. And by Sequan Casino, opening in 2019 is Sequan's brand new 300-room resort and hotel. Kirby Yates, a new Padres pitcher.
Kirby, like Craig Stammen, has been throwing the ball extremely well. High leverage situation. Still tied at 1, his 19th game. And all eyes right now are at home plate because Bryce Harper is strolling up to the plate. And lefties, 208 against Kirby Yates. Remember, he's got that good fork ball, split finger fastball that goes down and away from the left-handed hitters.
Harper takes ball 1, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball up and away. Harper reached on the 2-base error by Franchi Cordero in the 1st inning. Single to right in the 3rd and the solo home run in the 5th inning. The home run for Harper, his 15th of the year. In each of the first 2 games of the series. 1 last night and 1 so far tonight. Two and 1. Yates taking over for Stammen, who pitched a perfect 7th. Ground out, strikeout, fly out. Inside, 95, 3-1. Anthony Rendon, then Mark Reynolds, 2, 3, and 4. The Nationals order here in the bottom of the 8th. Taken all the way and taking a strike. Full count.
Wow.
I didn't think he was going to get one, I don't think.
I was really surprised at 3-1 and just straightening up and letting it go by. And that was a very hittable pitch, too.
Now he's swinging and fouling it back to the screen. Well, he's walked so much, probably thought they were going to pitch around him even with the game tied.
Well, let's peek into Raffy and see what he puts down. The payoff pitch here. Fastball in.
Harper on a check swing dribble in front of the plate. Lopez clears the runner and fires to first base for the out. 1 down in the 8th.
Kirby Yates fell behind, and that could spell danger against a guy like Bryce Harper. There's the fastball away. Now he shows him off speed, hoping that Bryce Harper is going to fish after and work the count in Kirby's favor. Here's what I like. Even though there's the free pitch that he gets, he pounds him inside twice. Foul ball. Payoff pitch again. Foul ball, check swing, bad hack. Great result. Kirby not afraid to bear that fastball in to tie up Bryce Harper.
1 down for Anthony Rendon. 0-for-3 on the night, striking out twice and popping out. But all that was against the Padres starter, Eric Lauer. No success in the past against Yates. There's a liner into left field, though, for a base hit. Rendon on with 1 out in the 8th inning.
good movement, but down to the zone, and Rendon stays on that one nicely. Talk about short, quick to the baseball.
One out, one on. Mark Reynolds, the batter. Two hits tonight, both singles. After grounding out to third in the first, single to left in the fourth. The infield hit to third in the sixth inning. Joins Bryce Harper, who also has two hits and multi-hit games tonight for the Nats. One and one.
Well, up to two strikes, you're hoping for location and movement to have him roll something over possibly, and let your infielders work for a double play. Up to two strikes, yeah. Then before that, work for the double play. Then two strikes, go for the punchy. And Kirby has that split finger fastball for the swing and miss.
Grounds it foul down by the tarp area.
There's that splitter.
Fights it off foul. Still 1-2.
Kirby is hitting his spots with regularity. That's exactly where he wanted to go with that one.
Reynolds will pop it up foul in behind the Nationals dugout, first base way. Now Yates able to get Harper, hit a little number in front of the plate. Rendon with a single to left field, one out, one on. A tie game, last of the eighth. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Rendon. Reynolds off balance, and he strikes out, upset with himself as he walks away. With strikeout number one for Kirby Yates, two down in the eighth.
Kirby dropping the old trap door, the old Uncle Splitty. Arm speed says fastball, grip says split finger, movement equals strikeout.
Two down for Pedro Severino. He has struck out, flat out to the warning track, and last time up, bounced into a 5-4-3 double play. On the ground left side, Galvis surrounds it, throws off balance and in time at first base, and we head to the ninth inning. Tied up 1-1 from DC.
Now, the Nationals closer has quite a history. The name Doolittle, very well known in the military world. Why? Because Lieutenant Colonel James Doolittle, who turned out to be the 7th cousin of Sean Doolittle, led the Doolittle Raiders. What were the Raiders? Well, after Pearl Harbor was bombed in 1942, the United States wanted to have a counterattack, and there was one man who figured out that the bombers that the Army used could actually fly off an aircraft carrier. He figured out that all it takes is 500 feet. They loaded up his plane. He led the first attack on Japan in 1942, and they became very famous for leading the way. He had a lot of integrity, a lot of courage, guys, and his motto for the Doolittle Raiders, forever into danger. And now Sean Doolittle uses that motto. He puts it on his spikes and underneath his cap. So quite a history behind Sean Doolittle on the mound, guys.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. Here he is, former Oakland A. 9 out of 10 in save opportunities, and this he's not, coming in a tie game at home.
Four-seam fastball, about 95, 96. Slider, curveball, and he comes right after hitters.
Jose Perella, Franchi Cordero, Franmil Reyes to bat here in the top of the 9th in this 1-1 ball game from Washington tonight. Nationals took game 1 of the series here last night. Almost dove into that pitch.
You know, we talk about whip from a pitcher's perspective. Walks and hits combined to innings pitched. Sean Doolittle ranks among National League relievers. He's 4th with a .66. .66. That's just over half a runner a game, or an inning rather. An inning. Seems like hitters do little against this left-hander.
Swing and a miss. Big cut right there by Perella. All 2 strikes to Perella. Then a 2-hit night, a single in the first, a double in the 6th inning. Two and 2.
A lot of fastballs from Doolittle. He's going to throw that fastball 88% of the time. He'll mix in little wrinkles every now and then. Fastball heavy from this left-hander.
Swing and a miss, and Perella goes chasing after that 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Time now for the Bill Howe play of the game. Franchi Cordero, another long home run. His 7th of the year, back in the 4th inning with Padres on top 1-0. 449 feet. Now a swing and a miss for strike 1. Fastball running away at 95. Straightens him up inside. In the air to right field, down the line towards the pole. It is going to be a foul ball. Just to the right of the pole down there.
Boy, he got to this ball as Doolittle misses it with location. Wanted it down and away. Caught it out in front and hooked it. Foul. even off the bat. Franchi loitering in that batter's box, knowing that it was going to go foul.
1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Gets away from Severino's got to throw him out, and he does. 2 strikeouts in the 9-2 down.
There's that little wrinkle that Doolittle will throw up there after throwing the fastballs. And when you have an aggressive swinger like Franchi, out of the hand, looks like a fastball. And there's the grip, there's the rotation, slider. Not even close.
3rd strikeout of the night for Franchi Cordero. 2 down. Franmil Reyes, who has got a couple of hits tonight. Struck out in the 1st, single to center in the 4th, and again single to center in the 6th inning. Oh, 2. We got Matt Strom and Brad Hand up. This game remains tied. Matt will see Strom. Padres can grab a lead here. Closer would be in. Swing and a miss. Reyes very late on that cut. 96 and buying. Doolittle strikes out the side. Game tied 1-1.
Padres, it may not be reproduced, retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Matt Strom into the game for the Padres here to pitch the bottom of the 9th inning.
One thing in mind and one thing only, to throw up a 0. His 6th game for Matt Strom, bouncing back from the knee injury. Lefty's hitting .375. That's got to change, being a tall left-hander himself. But owning righties at a 111 clip. High on the walks. Got to get those down as well.
Matt Caesar is taking over in right field for Franmil Reyes. Juan Soto to lead it off here, the 19-year-old. Soto tonight has walked twice and singled to right. Got one of the 7 Nats hits in the game. in tight, 3-0. Taking ball 4, third time that Soto has walked in the ball game tonight. Let's revisit our keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
And we shall do that at this point. Limit extra base hits for the Nats. Remember last night, 15 hits all told, 9 extra base hits, 7 hits, 6 singles. And 1 left the yard, that's why we're tied at 1. And Lauer finished 5. Well, he did better than that. 6 stanzas, 6 hits, 1 earned run. That was a home run off the bat of Bryce Harper, and he struck out 7. A good night in the big leagues for Eric Lauer.
Wilmer Difo almost falling down on that cut on the high fastball for strike 1. Difo has fouled out and struck out twice. Fouled back, 0-2. Very aggressive here against Strong.
Okay, you've had your 2 cuts, right? Trying to maybe first and third action, maybe do a little bit more damage. Let's see if he shortens up a little bit. Big hole right side. Trying to take a pitch the other way.
Difo fouls it off, kind of protecting the plate on a pitch away.
If I'm going to try to pitch Difo inside, I'm going to go a baseball or 2 in off the plate. Don't want to miss over the inner third of the plate. Somebody can spin on and rifle something down that left field line. Get something that might jam him to where it's a little grounder to third base.
Down and in, almost got away. Nice pick there by Rafi Lopez.
Glove save and a beauty. That's tough to do when you're anticipating a pitch a certain area at home plate and it's way off.
On the ground to third base. Tough hop there for Spangenberg. He still will throw to first to get the out there. So instead of the double play, they get Difo 5-3. Soto into scoring position now with 1 out. Potential winning run in scoring position.
Oh, looked like it came up on him a little bit, hit him in the chest. The good thing is they get Difo at first base, but oh yeah. Wow. Pick that back, got him in the right hand.
Michael A. Taylor, 0 for 3 in the game, struck out twice and grounded out. Potential winning run at second base in Soto. Up high for ball 1. A lot of fastballs here from Strong. Sanchez has come out on deck. Two and 0. Taylor's got himself in a good hitter's count. So he'll hit at 229 with runners in scoring position on the year.
I'm thinking that if it gets to the point where Sanchez is going to hit, we've got righty Simber in the bullpen ready to face him.
Taylor takes the strike, and that was a gift. This was called a strike.
Yeah. Thank you.
Time call. Rafi Lopez wanted time. Bluff off the backside, no throw. Catch a winning run, and Juan Soto at second base with one out in the ninth inning. High fastball, and another big swing from Taylor. 2-2.
Yeah, in a good spot. Coming from that angle from the left side. Strom up and in to Michael A. Taylor. Four-seam fastball. And that's not where he wanted it, looks like, the way that Lopez was set up. Still got the swing and miss.
Time call. Taylor hits a fly ball down the right field line. Foul ground, and Hosmer over the shoulder can't make the catch. Pretty good bid. Had to go a long way.
Long run for Matt Caesar as well. Name and number to the infield. And when you're running like that, it's tough to keep a steady head and keep your eyes still to try to concentrate and make that catch. And that's a long run. Flash look.
Gives Taylor another chance here with one out in the ninth inning. Soto with his lead. Taylor will foul it off to the right out of play. Fastball after fastball after fastball from Strom. Most of them have been up.
And this is where the situation, the backdoor breaking ball comes into play. If you can hone your release point and those crosshairs on the outside part of the plate for a strike, a lot of right-handed hitters against lefty will give up on that breaking ball, and then bang, you get the called strike. Or that slider down by the back foot as well.
Full count. Inning started with a walk of Soto. Defoe grounds out to third, but Soto takes second. Winning run in scoring position with one down in the ninth. Payoff pitch to Michael A. Taylor. Taylor drives one to center field. Jankowski going back at the wall. He leaps, it's off the wall. Soto will come around from second, and the Nationals will walk it off. was quite an at-bat for Michael A. Taylor. Drives one off the wall in center field, back by the 4:02 marker. And Soto scores the game-winning run.
Don, you know what? I think you made a good point. Throwing a lot of fastballs, but that is a changeup that's up in the zone. Even with the speed of Travis Jankowski, he can't get back there to catch that on the fly. Soto's halfway. He can see Travis Jankowski's name and number, and he strolls home for the walk-off.
Second career walk-off hit for Michael Taylor. Makes the Nationals a 2-1 winner tonight in D.C. So the Nationals have taken the first two games of the series. They win tonight 2-1. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?